Hey there, Zinies. We're going to talk about what you need to succeed in this class. The first thing you're going to need is a computer. Obviously, we're going to do a lot of Photoshop work, and you're going to do that on a computer. Now, some of you, if you have a tablet like an iPad, there is Photoshop for an iPad, and you probably could get through the course with that, but the iPad application doesn't work quite like the computer application. There are some things that the computer application does that we're going to do that the iPad application doesn't. So if you can, get a computer. I don't mean buy one, just have access to a computer. Many of you already have it. If you don't, try your best to get access to a decent computer. Now, for those of you who don't have access to a computer and can't get access to a computer, there is a loaner program available on Mount SAC. You can click the link below and fill out a form, and it's possible you'll be able to get a loaner computer. However, there are just a few available, so I can't guarantee that you're going to get one. The next thing you're going to need to get is Adobe Photoshop. Actually, what you're going to need to get is the entire Creative Suite. Now, due to the COVID-19 crisis, Adobe is offering students 6 months access to Adobe Creative Suite for $39.99. This is less than the price of a typical textbook. It's an exceptionally good price, and you are going to have to get Adobe Creative Suite. Now, the way to do that is go through College Buys eStore, and you can find that information below as well. Now, here's another thing about this COVID-19 thing. The graphic design program has petitioned to get funding in order to provide Adobe Creative Suite to the students. However, if we get that funding, it is not going to come in time for you to buy it this week. So the only way this is going to work out for you is you're going to have to buy the $39.99 6-month version of Adobe Creative Suite, and then in a few weeks, maybe a month, if we get the funding, I will tell you and I will explain to you how to get reimbursed. So it is possible you're going to get reimbursed for your purchase of Adobe Creative Suite. I can't guarantee it, but we are hoping that that will happen. Also, you're going to need to get a sketchbook. You can see down below that there are links for you on different kinds of sketchbooks, and there is even a sketchbook assignment that will give you a lot more information on that. Another thing I want to talk about in this class is an assignment. In another video, I'm going to go through an entire assignment for you to show you how that all works. But there is an important thing that you need to know, and that is due dates are really important, because due dates are important in the real world for a graphic designer. So you are going to need to turn your work in on time. If you don't, if it's a week late, you're going to have a 10% cut in your grade. If it's more than a week late, you're going to get knocked off 50%. I realize that there are sometimes situations where it's unavoidable. You're working, you have a crisis at home. All of these things happen in life that can cause you to not be able to turn in an assignment on time. If that happens, if it's a true serious problem and not just procrastinated or anything like that, but you really had a serious issue that kept you from getting your assignment done, please communicate that to me. You can send me a message or an email, and I will give that serious consideration. I realize that things happen, so in most cases, I will give you extra time to complete your work and not dock you any of the grade. And then finally, I just want to remind you again to read every word of every lesson and every assignment. I realize I have these videos for you, and the videos are kind of cool and neat. Well, maybe they aren't, but at least they're better than reading in a lot of cases. But just because you watched the video doesn't mean you got everything out of the lesson or assignment. Don't skip over things. Don't just quickly read through things. Make sure you really take the time and effort to read the information that I provide for you on these lessons and assignments. That's it. I hope you have a great day. I'm Professor B. I'll see you again.